Welcome to the HIKI NŌ tutorial series, the 5-point outline.
The purpose of this tutorial is to introduce the concept of the 5-point story outline. Most successful HIKI NŌ stories are comprised of 5 story points. A story point is not a voiceover, it is not a description of what we are seeing on the screen, and it is not a transcription of an interview. It is a simple, concise description of the point that is being made at a particular time in the story. If you have more than 5 story points, there is a good chance that you are trying to fit too much into your 3 minutes, and as a result, you're not delving very deep into the subject. You're merely skimming the surface. If your points do not logically flow from one to the next, chances are your story will be difficult to follow. To illustrate what a 5-point story outline is, watch the following sample story on guitarist Shoji LEDWARD with the story points typed up on the screen as they occur.
I'm still feeling around in the dark on the instrument. You know, every time I think I've got something nailed down, something else will come down the pike and I'll realize, okay, well, I've got something else to work on. It's impossible to truly become, the absolute master of the guitar.
Guitarist Shoji LEDWARD's impossible journey began over 30 years ago.
I was playing with a military circuit band, and you're working till 3, 4 in the morning doing all kinds of clubs and stuff, and so college was falling by the wayside, and so I started playing more, and eventually just sort of started taking over my life as a thing I was doing, and I began to realize that I really liked it, and I finally decided when I was in my mid-20s, I just woke up one morning and realized that this is what I'm doing. Right around that time I got very lucky because the UH started doing summer session, and they started bringing in some very, very, very high-end guitar players. The first seminar I ever went to, I remember, it was the Howard Roberts seminar. And so it was 2 12-hour days of sitting and listening to Howard Roberts, talk about the guitar. And he was a great teacher, amazing guy. And that was kind of my intro to thinking on the guitar as opposed to just playing stuff. And that was a big step for me. I began to realize that there was more to the guitar than just picking it up and plonking on the strings. There's a thought process involved.
At one point, Shoji discovered that playing the guitar is not just what he does for a living, it's what he does to live.
A few years ago, I went through a bad patch in life. I was going through some personal problems, and I stopped playing for a couple of months. I mean, literally, just did not pick up the guitar. And I was working a job that was paying a fairly decent salary. I thought, everything was okay, but I was actually getting physically ill. I actually made myself physically ill by doing this. It was really funny, and it was just by chance. Somebody called me and said, "Hey, come on, do a gig." Hadn't played in 2 months, but I grabbed the guitar, went down, played the gig. And it wasn't a very good gig. It was actually kind of one of the worst gigs I've ever played. But I walked away and I felt better. I felt so much better. And then the funny thing was, the next morning I went in and quit the job because I realized that the job was making me sick and avoiding the guitar was making me sick, and I sort of started patching things up with myself.
Playing the guitar is in Shoji LEDWARD's blood. It's part of his DNA. And while he has no children of his own, he has found a way for his bloodline to survive.
I've already had a few students that have started with me and have moved on and have actually become musicians. And I'm really lucky because I get to see that happen. There's a few people out there that actually at least credit me partially for what they're doing now, which is really nice. I really enjoy that. It's my little stab at immortality, I suppose.
This is Robert Pennybacker from PBS Hawaii for HIKI NŌ.
Thanks for watching this HIKI NŌ tutorial. Please check out the other tutorials for more help.